Hi everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. I am in Toyota City in Japan, in the Toyota showroom here with my good friend Ron Haigh, who worked for Toyota for 32 years.
32 years.
32 years, just retired a year and a half ago. And now you're enjoying the life, but you still have Toyota blood in you, basically.
I still want to share, the experiences that I've had. So I'm really grateful for opportunity when groups like yourself to come and visit and they ask me, well, what was it like when you worked in Toyota, and what were your frustrations, what were your dreams, what were your glories?
Yes.
And the truth is, nothing ever comes easy.
Right.
But if you have good values, and then if you have the approaches which allow you to implement those values, day by day, things can get better.
Absolutely. So Ron and I go back many years, I guess maybe 15 years longer.
Almost 20 years,
Maybe
I think.
20 years.
Yeah.
And we take a group of people who are studying lean manufacturing or Toyota production system to Japan and tour around Japan. And Ron was always our point of contact who would take us around the Toyota factory, including Motomachi and Tsutsumi. We've been to many factories, right?
And the whole idea of Kaizen is that you have to respond to changes in the environment. That includes market changes, that includes production changes. So when we first got together, we only had two brands. Right? We had Toyota and something new called Lexus. Okay?
That's right.
And now, for example, this showroom, we have lots of the GR brand. Right. So the idea is that each and every model could be augmented in a way that performance could be enhanced. And that exactly points us to the direction of all future Toyota cars. Right. The idea is that why just focus on hardware? Why not use the software approach to allow the vehicle to be customized to your preference? Right.
Very interesting.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. Cars that are ever better because they are ever better for you.
Yes. And one of the things that people often want to ask me, it's about why do the Japanese still make better cars? Now, it's not always like that, but especially if you look at cars that's built in Motomachi factory or especially Tara factory, consistently, highest rated in the world in terms of reliability and quality. Why is it still different here? I know that maybe people are not all that different, but they're still able to produce highest quality.
Of course,
product.
one-word answer. How about that? Yeah. Respect.
Yes. Okay.
And the reason why I say respect number one is you are doing something because you believe it's important for the customer. You believe it's important for society. Okay, that's one reason. You're not doing nonsense. You're getting up every day and you're working because it's important for somebody. The second thing about respect is you believe people are capable of learning. So one of the responsibilities as someone who worked under the previous Toyota leaders is that they learned a lot from people. So then they have to take that and they have to pass that down. They will not be doing their role unless they successfully pass down through the mind and through the heart what actually making good cars means.
Because they weren't perfect, obviously, many years ago. They had to learn themselves, right?
There is no perfect.
Exactly.
Guess what? We weren't perfect at the beginning by a long shot. We're not perfect by a long shot now, but we never stop trying to figure out how to make a better car. And what's a better car 10 years ago? What's a better car now? And as we roll forward in mobility, the whole notion of what is mobility is going to be changing.
Because the whole auto industry is changing rapidly. But like you said, the respect, our attitude, our mindset, that will continue to improve or continue to stay the same. But still, people can't understand why Toyota people have that right mindset, the right heart. What do you say to people who can't quite seem to figure out why is it that other car company just can't seem to quite get to that point?
Well, I think it has to do with the expectations on management, on middle management, on anyone who provides training, that you must take it deadly seriously. Your number one responsibility is to recreate the passion that you feel to someone else. And people are different. I could be training someone and it could take me only 2 weeks to pass on the passion. Another person, it could take me like even 6 months before they just know from experience, they've seen it, that what I'm saying is not nonsense. It actually works, it actually improves, it actually makes life more interesting, it actually makes better products. So different people have different learning curves, but you have to want people to learn, and you want to try to help them learn. I remember, if I may say one thing, Kiichiro Toyota, people would come and tell them they had a problem. They always had a problem when they started out.
Right.
But he would listen very carefully, and he would say, I'll get back to you if he didn't know the answer. A couple days later, after he consulted with people, he would always come back to them.
Yeah,
and he would also give them a meaningful hint about how to resolve. And then, in a certain sense, then together, they could come halfway or part way to solving the problem.
Right, interesting. So the the whole notion of the Toyota way or Toyota thinking has been carried over generations, right, from the early days of Koichiro Toyota all the way to the current thinking. Now, do you think, even with all the things that are happening in the world, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, whatever that's happening over the next couple of years, do you think Toyota will be able to maintain that
We'll be better.
process?
We will be better.
And why do you say that?
Because right now, we put people in every process to evaluate what's going on.
Right.
Okay. However, with these advanced tools, we will know much better what is going on.
Right,
For example,
okay.
we'll know that I thought that improvement was an improvement, but in fact, it impacts on something that happens either at the dealer or
Right.
it happens on the final assembly line
Right,
or something
okay.
like that. So we will be aware of the consequences of our intended Kaizen.
Interesting.
That's going to be really a big thing. Furthermore, as machines get more sophisticated, more and more of the so-called manual or body-related work can be taken on by robots.
Right.
But that just gives us more time
Yes.
to really think about how to change things. Often we don't change things because it's just too much trouble.
Right,
Why don't
yes.
we grind out another day? Why don't we grind out another day the way we've been doing it?
Right.
And the fact is, if you take the time to think of a new way, geez, work might actually turn out to be pleasant.
Interesting, yeah. So because the precision will improve, accuracy will improve, data will improve over time due to AI. And then, like you said, Toyota people are always learning, right? They're ever so changing to become better and better and better.
And the product, right now, it's still manufacturing in. It's still some group of people who sit down in a room and they decide, this is the car for you, David.
Right.
Okay? And
Special
won't
car
it be
for me.
won't
Like
it
the
be,
GR Yaris right here. This is the one I want.
Won't it be refreshing when you get that basic package, but then you decide how to tweak it so that it's perfect for you.
Yes, yeah.
And that's, I think, the vision that we're going towards.
So more customization, more specific catering to, I guess, people's needs, or
Performance
customers' needs.
and entertainment.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, the role of cars, that right now basically cars are just transportation.
Right.
But
For
cars,
many people.
cars should also be information gathering agents. So as the car moves throughout the city, what kind of information can it be providing to the infrastructure?
Right, yes,
to
yeah.
allow, in cases of emergency and in cases of better logistics, in cases of a more beautiful city. So I think cars have a big role to play if we do our job properly.
And make ever better cars.
Yes.
Last question is Tahara factory. Why is it so special? Why are so many Lexus built in Tahara? I know there's lots of Takumi specialists there, but why is
Bing
that?
bong.
Yeah. I give the answer, I guess.
Because we think that someone who builds Lexus must be a master craftsman.
Master craftsman, yes,
Okay?
yes. Yeah.
So there are not that many master craftsmen out there.
No.
So you have to have a system for finding people in your various operations that have the potential
Yes.
to be a master craftsman.
yeah.
Okay, and then one funny, slightly off the topic discussion is, for example, master driver. Okay, as you know, our chairman, Akio Toyota, is a master driver.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
there was a period when he first came into the company, he couldn't drive a car better than anyone. Okay,
Right.
not just same as anyone. So he studied under a gentleman whose name is Naruse. One of Toyota's best drivers,
Right, race drivers, yes.
studied over a period of, I'm sure, more than a year. A couple years, and so Akio became a very, very good driver. And by being a good driver, he's able to feel what are the performance characteristics of the vehicle, what are its weaknesses, where does it let us down, where does it go beyond our expectation. And that was a big problem initially we had with electric cars, because electric cars were so boring.
Right, there's no feeling, right?
Okay, it's a toaster.
No feedback.
Akio always said, I don't want to ride in a toaster. I don't want to make a toaster. Okay, but for example, like the new President Sato, he's saying, no, electric vehicles is just technology that we can use to realize our goals.
Right, yes,
and so he began to show the potential of electric cars, and I think you're going to find out by like 2026, Toyota is going to have 1.5 million electric cars available every year.
Yes,
it's going to be a massive jump up.
Massive number. All right, excellent. Well, we really appreciate Ron's insight.
Always a pleasure.
We're traveling with, again, 17 of us traveling in Japan, and we learned so much from Ron every single time. We're going to continue to learn. Now I come into Vancouver for a visit. We'll take you for fishing, and
I'll learn how to fish.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be the Takumi fisherman, I hope, and I can teach you a little bit about fishing while I learn about Toyota Way from you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ron.
Thank you very much.